Everyone, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College, and the name of this video is The Ecstasy of the Blues, and I'm covering Gene Harris here today. And this video, it's called Gene Harris, Otter Crest, A Little Blues There, Part 1. And I wrote down some notes here about what he plays, and he plays 16 choruses here of the blues. And then the video cuts off. I think it goes to a bass solo, but anyway, before you go through my video, here's the link. It's there somewhere. It's down in the description. I might have it up there above my head. Go listen to this video first, all right? It's about 7 minutes long, and just get into the blues. Then come back, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Okay? I'll wait. Go ahead. Go check it out. Really, you owe it to yourself. All right, welcome back. There's just no way you can't feel good after listening to this. It's really great what he does. He starts off with a bass line, and he uses kind of his left hand as a little punctuation thing because, Yeah, just bat, and sometimes I think it's a C that he's hitting. I'm not, or an F maybe, and he does this one riff. Well, let's listen to it a little bit. Now, in the second chorus, he does that bass line, and later on in the song, the bass player plays the exact same line. And it's a great line to start off the blues. And then he gets soft right at the end of that chorus, and then the band comes in, and it's a wonderful moment. Let's listen. In the third chorus now, the band has come in, and the mix has changed a little bit. You can't hear the piano quite as well. You hear the bass and the drums pretty nicely. And he's going like this, doing those tritone. It's the seventh and the third there. And he's doing this with his left hand. All right, so he's kind of like playing two parts at once. Maybe like a guitar part and the piano part or something. So that's the E flat chord, but he stays with this, and then back. That's inferring a C minor, but he's still playing. And let me say this about the C minor. Usually in a blues like this, when you do the 2-5-1 there on the last part, the 2 is often a dominant chord. It's like a C seventh and not C minor seventh. And it will change into that as the song progresses. Okay, so he does two choruses more or less the same like this. Now, if you don't have a band to jam around with and you're trying to learn how to do this, just play right along with him here on these two choruses, especially when they're just giving you like a nice backup track, and put some blues scale in there. They're not going to complain, all right? You're not breaking any jazz rules playing along with Miles Davis or playing along with John Coltrane. Use the music. Use it to help you grow. Now he comes in using the alternate blues scale. There's this blues scale, And of course, he uses that a lot too. There's a really cool riff coming up. 1, 2. He does that. I figured it out a few minutes ago. He's using the G minor blues scale, this. But when you use it in B flat, if you use it the right way, you get the like the 6th and the flat 3, you know, in the key of B flat. You know, you get these nice little flibberty things in it, flibberty gibbets. So he's using that. But just as this chorus starts, what does the bass player do? So I'll play it again so you hear it. This song is just a beautiful lesson on how to start your solo kind of in a simple, understated way and build it up until it's an absolute inferno. And there's a line coming up. I'm going to figure it out right here with you all because it's just so good. I think it's right at the end of this chorus. But anyway, that's kind of where he's working now. All right, we got that. I heard that. So once again, it's those two notes, but this time it's up here. So it's like, I don't know what he did. It's one of the hardest scales to get the right fingering on. I would do it like this, and then just jump to this. 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2. All right, so it's the pick up to 3. 1, 2, 2, da, 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 da. And then he does the same thing here, going down to a G7 now. This is really turning it into more than just a 1, 4, 5. You know, he's got the 6th chord in there, and then he's going to go to C minor or C dominant. I'm not sure which. Hits that, and then he does a nice da 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 da. I'm going to figure out what that is. It's a classic jazz run. It's kind of like an enclosure. You know, he's looking for the notes of the B flat chord, and he goes, gets to that one, gets to that one, gets to that one. All right. See, even the greats steal from Bergmuller. That's a song called By the Limpid Stream. All right, now he's starting to build it up. All right, now this is a typical thing here. You're on the 1 chord, move this up a half step. These are rootless voicings now. A flat, D, and G. That's like a B flat 13. Then you got the octave here, maybe a fill it in with the whole chord. And this goes up a minor 3rd, but this goes up a half step. So you could do full chords. You could do B flat and D flat there. Or just, you know, the octave in the 5th. Little roll in there probably. You could also do it here. Right? Kind of the same kind of thing. You got, right, going down to the E flat there. jazz player. He's really known for the blues because he feels the blues so strong, but he plays a lot of jazz too, and he's doing a lot of 16th notes here. So, now I can't keep up with him, but he's. He's going to town for sure. He hits a sharp 9 chord there, right, at some point. And there's always that. Just build on this thing. So he's building up now, and he hits a little bit of suspended chord there. And then this is what you call big piano. It's mostly octaves with maybe a fill-in note or two up here, rootless voicings in the left hand, and everything happens at the same time. A typical way is to get to the G chord like that. So it's like a 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, but he's putting the riff in there and everything. So just doing a sequence right on down. All right, you think he's built it up as far as he can. This is the calm before the storm. Now he's just doing good old down home blues there. He's going. All right, it's built on this. To get to the E flat, you just change it to a minor, so you could go. And so, even on the F, he's still playing that C minor because it's like a suspended chord. Keeping his wrists loose. I think what's cool there is he doesn't even go to the E flat. It's like not 4 measures, but like 8 measures of just B flat. Let's listen to that again. You can't do that on a fake piano. You cannot play that way on a digital piano. It just doesn't work. I've tried it. Starting to bleed a little bit, so be careful when you do that stuff like that. Another person who's really great at that too is Oscar Peterson, so check him out. All right, I really had fun doing this video, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks very much, everyone, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.